Hi guys, I'm having to do a voiceover because the microphone must have been on mute. Say no more. I've got some Fimo Pro here in black, and I'm just going to condition it and add a small piece of gold leaf. Okay, so I'm just going to mix it all in together. So I'll just do that and then I'll be back. Okay, so I've run it through on a 0. It's just to give it some sort of gold shimmer. I've run it through on a 0. And I'm using a teardrop cutter. This teardrop cutter is 4.5 centimeters. Don't know what I'm babbling on about, but you just have to, you'll work it out. I'm just explaining that I'm trying to elongate them. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting them out on a 0, and then I'm going to put them through the machine on a number 2 to elongate them a little bit. Okay, and while I put them through on a number 2, I'm just going to give it a very fine texture with this lace. So there's just a slight pattern. Okay, so that's it elongated. So that's cut on a 0 and put through on a 2 with the lace to give it a little bit of fine texture. Okay, so that's both pieces are done now. So now I'm just going to tidy them up because they've gone a little bit wonky. Just gently getting it to stick to the tile. I find it's really good to use a tile whenever possible. I've only just started doing it regularly, and it really does help because you can turn things around and move them. It just gives you more access. Okay, so that's both pieces done. Just continuing to tidy them up. Try and get them straight now because it'll save you more work later on. And now I'm just making little holes in the top, but I do go back and fill those holes in and make them a little bit lower down, so don't make any holes at this point. Okay, and then these are going to go in the oven. Okay, so now they're out of the oven, and you can sort of see the gold glimmer and that very fine lace effect. And these are the charms that I've chosen to use. I've put the link below from where I got them from. You can get them in different colours, but you can use any charm you want, any shape you want. I'm just giving you a new idea and you do with it what you want. You can just use silver ones, gold ones, whatever. But I'm choosing to use this. And now I've got some painter's tape, which I'm just putting over the bottom of them because I want to create a template shape that's similar to the actual charm. That will make sense now as I do it. This is where I decided I was going to bring the hole down lower. So as I'm doing this, I'm doing it with a lower hole. And I'm just marking very gently on both pieces where I want the bottom of the template to be. And I'm just making sure they're even. If you're not confident, just use a measuring tape. Okay, so I've just set it in its new place. And now I'm just going to go around the charm, but I'm not going right around. As you can see, I'm just doing the bottom arch and taking it to the edge. So I'm pressing hard with my fingers to try and keep it still so it doesn't move, but I'm pressing very lightly with the knife, so it's just enough to go through the paper, but not to mark the earrings underneath, and it doesn't. It's absolutely fine. Just make sure you don't press too hard. I followed it right round there, so I'm just amending it to take it to the edge. And then I'm repeating the same thing on the other side, trying to make sure they're both equal. They were just a little bit too long for me. I do end up cutting the tips off, but you'll see that as it happens. But in the meantime, I'm just repeating exactly what I did on the last one. And I keep checking it's central. And I had to do this a few times before I got it right, so don't, please have the confidence to try it. There's a lot of goofs you don't see, not just the ones you do. Okay, so I'm just easing it away now, and hopefully what should happen is where I've cut the templates, if I remove the bottom and around it, it should just leave me the template shape. Go gently because it might try to fight you. It's like there, I hadn't quite cut it enough, so just be aware of that. Sorry if I still sound a bit chesty, but still got this lurgy. Okay, I wasn't happy with that, so I just wanted to tidy it up. So I just went over with a second piece of tape, so I end up with the shape I wanted. I mean, if you don't get it right first time, just rip it off and try again. It takes minutes, doesn't it? Okay, so now you can see where the pattern mimics the charm. And I mean, if you're using a round charm or totally different shape, you just do exactly the same thing. Use it for a template and then okay, so make sure you're happy if they're straight, and this is the point now where you can get a little knife, and if there's anything, like I can see on the one near my left hand, it's not quite rounded enough, so I will go and amend that. And I'm just showing you glitters and fine glitter that both match this charm, which is sold as peacock blue, but it's very I think it looks teal. Okay, so now I'm just getting some fimo liquid. I'm just amending that bit that I said I wasn't happy with, so I'm just slightly curving the tape round a bit more. Okay. So when you're happy with it, that it's shaped, how you want it, then I would ideally use resin to do this. I've seen it on Instagram quite a few times, which is what gave me the idea to try and do my take on it. But because of my chest, I'm not going to use resin, so I'm actually using the fimo varnish, and I'm doing exactly the same thing, but with varnish instead of resin. I imagine with resin it would probably look nicer. So I decided in the end to use the fine mica glitter and also the normal glitter, so there's a little bit of a mix in there. And just like you can with UV resin, I'm just mixing the varnish into it. It's nearly an empty bottle, so I'm not bothered about using the brush and everything. So I'm just mixing it all in. And making sure all the tape is down securely. Now I'm just gently painting it on, following the pattern. Okay, so take your time, make sure you're happy it's all even. I think I just do the one on here, so then I will go and do the second one, and then I will be removing the masking tape before it dries, because I don't want it drying onto it and then having a problem. So now I shall go and do the second one, and then I'll be back for the next bit. Okay, so let's hope I'm remembering this right. Now, I ended up deciding to cut the tips off with my knife, and then I sanded around the edges. I also added the varnish just very gently over the top of the lace pattern on the front, so it just give it a shimmer. And then obviously I said I cut the top off, sanded the edges around to round it off a bit. Okay. Then I also decided to add a fine layer on the back with a number 6 done with the lace and the scrap black clay with the gold in. I just felt it would set it off. So I'll just show you how I put it together now. I'm just tidying up that edge. Okay, so I'm just putting the jump ring through, adding the charm, and adding the ear insert finding all onto that one jump ring, and then doing it up, and then taking where they meet into the clay, so it keeps it more secure. Okay, so there they are. They really are a lovely colour. They're much more teal than they look on here. And hopefully the black is setting off the shimmering colours. Okay, so I hope you like them. Just a nice short video. But they'd be just nice for Christmas, wouldn't they, with that little black dress? Okay, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you for watching.